Hi Trout Wildcats, this is Mrs. Parks and I am here to read to you one of my favorite books. I used to read this book to my second grade class every year, and it is called The 7 Habits of Happy Kids. And one of the reasons I read it is because a lot of times when we ask kids or parents, what do you want for your children, they'll say we want them to be happy. And so this book is about habits, good habits that you can have that will help you be happy. There is a map of the woods. We have some different characters in this book, and there is a map of where this goes on. And then there are some characters that I'm going to introduce to you. Miss Nielsen is going to flip this video camera around so that you can see the book better. All right, so these are the characters that live in Seven Oaks. We have Goob the bear. He loves being outside. We have Jumper Rabbit, and he loves sports. Lily Skunk loves art and being creative. Sammy the squirrel is a tinkerer. He likes to invent things. And actually, our first story is going to be about him. Sophie Squirrel loves to read. Pokey Porcupine, well, he likes relaxing a lot. And Tagalong Alley, she's kind of a special character in our book. She's very young and she has a little bit of a speech problem. So when you hear her speaking, you're going to have to listen very carefully. There's also Ernie the Worm, who actually is not a character, but sometimes you'll see him on the pictures. Our first chapter is called Bored, Bored, Bored. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm bored, I am not happy. So I don't understand why this is called Bored, 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 and it's one of the habits of happy kids. But it's all about Sammy Squirrel. So let's see how this turns into a happy habit. Bored, bored, bored. Sammy Squirrel was bored, bored, bored. Mom, he said, I'm bored. There's nothing to do. How about all those gadgets you collect, said Mom. Broken toys, radios, cell phones. You love to tinker around with them. But I don't feel like it today, said Sammy. Maybe Sophie can think of something fun for me to do. Sophie is his sister. Sammy knocked on Sophie's door. There was no answer. Sophie's gone to the library, said Mom. She's returning all those books she checked out last week, and she'll probably bring 100 more back to read. Well, at least she's not bored, said Sammy. Well, you don't have to be bored either, said Mom. Why don't you see if Pokey can play? So off Sammy went to Pokey's house. Does it sound like he's happy? He doesn't sound happy to me. Pokey was lying in his hammock. Hiya, Pokey. What you doing? What does it look like, said Pokey. I'm lying in my hammock. I'm bored, said Sammy. Can you think of something fun for me to do? Sure, said Pokey. Try lying in my hammock. Ugh, said Sammy. That sounds even more boring. I don't think it is, said Pokey, but if you do, why don't you go see what Lily's doing? So off Sammy went to Lily's house. Lily was in her playroom painting a picture. Hi, Lily, said Sammy. I'm bored. Can you think of something fun for me to do? You bet, said Lily. You can help me paint Dottie Doll, and then we can make frames out of red paper, or maybe you could paint my tail. Looks like she's having fun. Ugh, said Sammy. I don't feel like painting. Can't you think of something else fun to do? Nope, said Lily. I like painting. Why don't you see what Goob's up to? So off Sammy went to Goob's house. Goob had his magnifying glass out and was looking at something in the grass. Hey, Goob, said Sammy. What you doing? Ants, said Goob. I'm looking at ants. Goob pulled Sammy down next to him. He shoved the magnifying glass into his paws. Lean down and you'll see hundreds of them. They're so cool. Sammy looked through the glass. Yikes, he said. I don't want to look at ants. They're creepy. Can't you think of something else that's fun for me to do? Can't, said Goob. I'm into ants right now. Why don't you go see what Jumper's up to? So off Sammy went to Jumper's house. Jumper was shooting baskets in the driveway. He dribbled the ball over to Sammy. Want to get in the game? He asked. No, said Sammy. I don't feel like playing basketball. Can't you think of something fun for me to do? Watch this, said Jumper. I'm a rabbit. He jumped up and stuffed the ball into the basket. Slam dunk! Sammy sighed. Nobody seemed to have any fun ideas. Maybe he could play with Tag-Along Allie. So off he went to her house. There's her home. Allie's granny was painting the front porch. Hi, Granny, said Sammy. Where's Tag-Along Allie? She's in bed with a sore throat, said Granny. Bummer, said Sammy. He paused. I'm bored. Do you want to play? Allie's granny laughed. Can't, Sammy Squirrel. I'm busy. No one will help me have fun, complained Sammy. I'm so bored. Well, isn't that your fault? Asked Allie's granny. You're in charge of having fun, not somebody else. What do you mean? Asked Sammy. I mean, you can make your own fun. You don't need others to make it happen. Just look around and think about it. You'll find something fun to do. Sammy looked around. He saw clouds. He saw trees. He saw 3 garbage cans lined up against the house. And one had an old radio on top with wires sticking out in all directions. Do you see the trash cans? Suddenly, Sammy's brain lit up like a flashlight. Interesting. Look at his face. Does he look happy now? Do you want that old radio anymore? He asked Allie's granny. No, she said. It's broken. That's why I threw it away. Can I have it? Asked Sammy. I love radios. Why, sure, said Allie's granny. Sammy picked up the radio, carried it home, and set it on the floor of his room. Then he got started. It took him a few hours to get the radio to work again, but by lunchtime it was fixed. He tied some ribbons around it and pasted stars all over. Then he carried the radio back to Tag-Along Allie's house. Does he look bored to you? What do we have here? Asked Allie's granny. A get well present for Allie, said Sammy. I fixed the radio so she could listen to it while she's getting over her sore throat. I'm not bored anymore. I finally figured out how to make my own fun. Great, said Allie's granny. Let's go inside and show Allie. When Allie saw the radio, she broke into a smile as wide as a slice of cantaloupe. I love the ribbons, she said. Did you understand what Allie said? You have to listen real carefully. I love the ribbons. See if you can tell your partner what you think Allie said. Miss Nelson, will you turn the video so that I can show him something now?
You bet.
Thank you. Oh, there we go. It went spinning around. All right, so that was chapter 1. And the first habit of happy kids is that you are in charge of your own attitude. No one else is. So it's not up to your teachers. It's not up to your parents. It's up to you to not be bored. A lot of times kids like to say that they're bored. And just like Granny said in the book, you're in charge of your own attitude. If you believe that you're bored, then you're going to be. So in my class, we weren't allowed to say we were bored. We looked for things that we were going to do. In my house, I was not allowed to say I was bored. If I said I was bored, my mother looked for things for me to do, and they were not fun things. So it's also called be proactive. Be proactive. You're in charge of your own attitude. So what you're going to do, I have a paper here. It's blank. And what you're going to do is you're going to write the word bored real big in the center of the paper. And is saying that you're bored a happy habit or not? It's not. So we're going to replace that with a habit that will make us happy. So instead of saying bored, we're going to cross that out, and we're going to use the universal symbol. That means that they can use it anywhere, no matter what language they speak, for no or don't do it. And you've probably seen these before around town. You put a circle and a diagonal line across. That tells me I am not going to say that I am bored. Assistants and teachers, you might have them stop for a minute and talk to each other about where they've seen this symbol before and what they've seen under it. After you're done putting the word bored and crossing it out, you're going to think of some things that you can do when you're feeling like that, when you're feeling like you don't have anything to do. They actually had some great ideas of things for him to do. He just didn't feel like doing any of those things. But maybe you have different things. He liked to tinker with things. So you're going to put some either pictures or some words around this to talk about what things you could do when you're feeling bored. I'm going to show you one that a student did a long time ago in my class. This is one that they did. It was in color, but I just made a copy of it. This person said when they were feeling that feeling of boredom, they could read. They enjoyed reading. They could do computers. They put to think about being thankful and respectful. And that might have been because I told them that when my mom told me that I shouldn't say I was bored, she told me I was not being thankful because I had lots and lots of toys in the house that I could have played with. I just didn't feel like doing them, just like Sammy. So that is your assignment, is to fill this one out. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see what happens next time.